Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and today I am going to be doing my June wrap up and I'm going to run you through my speculative TBR in July. So let's kick off. So the first book that I read in June was actually a book that I continued on from the month of May, and that was Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, and this one I gave a 3 stars. It was a very middling experience for me. I did do a full non-spoiler and spoiler-filled review, so definitely go check that out. The next one that I read was a really bad experience for me, and I also do have a video of this one out, and that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This was a 1.5 star. It was abysmal in every single way. I did not like anything about that book, and to be honest with you, I think it should be rated lower even than a 1 stars. It was really not good, and if you are new to Joe Abercrombie, please just do not even bother with that book. Go and read The First Law and then all of his other books, because they are significantly better. Like, you cannot even compare them, in my opinion. So that was not a great start to the month for me. Then I picked up Dead Souls by Nikolai Gogol, and this is my first Gogol and I really liked it. I am going to be doing a full review of this one, so watch this space, but very interesting historical context in this book where we are following a man who essentially pays for dead workers' souls, because it has a very specific implication in this book. I will talk more about this in my full review, but it is a very interesting book that brings up some moral questions, and this actually happened in Russian history as well, and society, which is fascinating, but I'll go more into that in my review. I gave this one a 4 stars, really liked it overall. Did have a few little minor gripes with it, which I will go into in my review. Then I picked up The Crucible by Arthur Miller, and I picked this up, one, because Arthur Miller is one of my favourite playwrights, but also because I actually went to go and see an adaptation of this. And while I thought the play was good, I actually think the adaptation was a lot better. I gave this one a 3.5 stars. Very interesting insight into the Salem witch trials and how women were vilified and treated during what was a very difficult time in Massachusetts' history. It's fascinating. I'm going to do a video, I think, on a few plays that I've read recently, so I will deep dive more into this when I get to that video, so watch this space for that. Then I picked up a book that I can't actually talk about because I don't even know if it's going to get published, but it is from one of my favourite authors of all time, and I had the absolute honour and pleasure of getting to read the book and giving feedback to the author. All I will say is that it is, without a doubt, one of my favourite books of all time, and I really hope it gets published so that all of you wonderful people get the joy of reading it, because it is simply phenomenal. Then I was very lucky and fortunate to receive an ARC by NetGalley to read The Swallows by Kirano, and if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that Kirano is one of my favourite authors of all time, one of my favourite Japanese authors of all time, and Out is one of my favourite books. I absolutely love that book. So dark, so grim, but also just gave really good insight into Japanese society and culture, and I think that somewhat applies to The Swallows. In The Swallows, we are essentially following our main character as she agrees to birth a child for a couple that can't have children, and that's what I'm going to say about it. I will do a review of this when I'm allowed to, but it was absolutely fascinating, brings up some really interesting moral questions around the concept of surrogacy that I had never really thought about, but it really brought it up for me. So yeah, that's all I'll say. I don't think I'm allowed to give a rating on this just yet, but watch out for my review in a couple of months when I'm allowed to do so. Then we picked up the buddy read pick of the month, and that was Hummingbird Salamander by Jeff Vandermeer, and this book was excellent. I have quite liked Jeff Vandermeer so far. I did really enjoy his, most famous book, which is the Southern Reach trilogy. I've only read the first one in that one, and I really liked it. I thought it was really solid, but this one for me was just even better. It was a really solid read. I really liked the pacing in this book. I really liked how it was written. I liked so many things about it, and I will do a dedicated video on this because I think many of you will like this book. And we're essentially following our main character as she is trying to unravel a mystery as it relates to her company and a couple of other people that she's had interactions with. Very poor synopsis, but it is a thriller, and I think it is one of those books that it's best to go into it without really knowing anything about it. There's a lot of things around like climate conspiracies and kind of how that feeds into government and politics and tech companies, and it's just really good. I gave this one a 4 stars. probably my favourite Jeff Vandermeer thus far, and yeah, it's made me want to pick up more of his stuff sooner rather than later. Then the last full book that I read in the month of June was The Fortune of the Rougons by Emile Zola, and this is my first Zola, and I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. This is the first book in like a multi-book epic that Zola wrote many years ago, and it is just not only about the rise and fall of this family that we follow, but also French society, and it really dives into the historical context, the political context, the societal context, but it's all kind of surrounding this family and all of these individual people and how they're connected to one another. It is just absolutely phenomenal. I loved it. I gave it a 5 stars. I will do a dedicated review of this one as well, because I have been asked to review more classics. So I have heard you and I will do that. And this is definitely one that people should pick up. And then the final book that I picked up that I did finish on the first day of July, it was Excellent Women by Barbara Pym. And I've been wanting to read Barbara Pym for such a long time. Like, she's a very underrated author, I think. Not many people talk about her, but her prose is just really wonderful and her characters are really wonderful. In Excellent Women, we are following our main character Mildred as she lives her life in post-World War London, and it's really about the role of women. It's really about kind of societal expectations that were put on women. Mildred is single, she's 30, which, bear in mind, at that point that was unheard of, and marriage really was kind of the goal for a lot of women. But Mildred, our heroine, is kind of contemplating whether that's actually what she wants. It's really, really good. Really gives you insight into a different kind of mindset, I think, and it's very charming, it's funny, and I just really loved it. But I will tell you what I rated it next month. Then in terms of what I've got on for the rest of the month, and I'm definitely not going to get to all of these because I have so many books on my list for July, but I know for a fact I'm not going to get to all of these. And these are in no particular order. We have 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is obviously a classic. It's considered to be one of the best books ever written. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one because it's been on my list forever and it's about time that we got to it. I'll be buddy reading that with James, so I'm really looking forward to that. Then another one I have on my list is another Japanese translated fiction, and that is There Is No Such Thing as an Easy Job by Kikuko Sumura. And this looks like it's going to be a delightful little book about a young woman who doesn't want to work and she can't really keep down a job, and it's all about her kind of reflections on that. It's a very specific genre of like contemporary fiction that the Japanese do so well, and yeah, I'm just really excited to read this one. Then I've got a sci-fi book on my list, and that is The Wind-Up Girl by Paolo Bacigalupi. I've talked about Bacigalupi's writing on my channel before because I absolutely love Novola. It's one of my favorite fantasy books of all time. It is just absolutely excellent, and so I'm dying to read all of Bacigalupi's other stuff, so I will hopefully be picking that one up. Then I have a fantasy book, and that is one that I actually mentioned in one of my previous TBR videos, but I didn't get to it. But I am definitely going to get to it this month, and I have actually started it. And that is The West Parridge by Jared Pesicek. I don't know how you say his name. I apologise, but it's a very fascinating concept, and I've not really heard anybody talk about it, so that probably means it's good, so I'm gonna give it a go. Then I might pick up the second Life Ships book by Robin Hobb. I don't know, I'm not really feeling it to be honest right now, but that might change at the end of the month. I also want to read some Molière. Molière was a French playwright, and there's a couple of his plays that I've got on my list, so I might read one of those. I might also read Virgin Soil by Ivan Turgenev. Turgenev, as I've said, is one of my favourite authors of all time. He's just phenomenal, and I really want to pick up Virgin Soil because that is considered to be his kind of greatest hit, so can't wait. Then I have Sanshiro by Natsume Soseki, and this is another Japanese translated fiction. Natsume Soseki is absolutely amazing. He's got such a wonderful tone of voice, quite comical, but also does a lot of like coming of age stories. So I am planning to pick this one up as well because I absolutely loved Botchan, and my review of that will be coming out soon, so watch this space. Then I want to hopefully pick up The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This is the first book in the Dandelion Dynasty, and yeah, I've just got to do it, so I'm hoping to pick that up. And then possibly I might read Red and Black by Stendhal, but to be honest with you, I've got some pretty big books planned for this month, so I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but we'll see. And then last but most certainly not least, we have the buddy read pick of the month, which at the time that I'm filming this video, The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones is currently in the lead by quite a margin. So I think that's going to be our pick of the month, and I'm very, very excited for that. So those are the books that I read in the month of June, and those are the books that I'm planning to read in the month of July. Let me know down below what you read in the month of June. Again, as always, any particular hits or misses, and let me know what you're planning to read in the month of July. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.